The word of God in Jeremiah chapter 9 verses 23. Thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory or boast in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory or boast in his might. Let not the rich man glory or boast in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory or boast in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Lord which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord. Psalms 34. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. One of the fears that I had to face some time ago, and I don't know about you, but one of the fears that I have is when it comes to exams. And I had to take an exam, a part 1 and a part 2 exam that is connected to my job, which relates to promotion. And I did exactly what I know needed to be done in order for me to pass these 2 exams. I got in contact 1 or 2 times with co-workers, and we were studying. And one time I was actually getting into there were certain topics that they sent to us in order for us to study for these exams, so that once we try to master these topics, we guarantee that we will try our best to pass these exams. And I remember there was one topic in particular that I tried my best to master, until my co-worker said, I'm sure that if they bring that free exam, you're licking it up. And I said, yeah. On the day of the exam, when it came, part 1 of the exam, I sat to do the exam, went through the papers, and I recognized that, I didn't see the particular topic that I actually studied hard for. Those exams where they tell you to do 8 out of 10 questions, and I tried my best, and I actually scraped through to try to answer the questions to the best of my ability, to try at least to pass the exam. And I was a little bit disappointed that I wasn't able to see the topic or the team that I studied for. And after the exam was done, I did something which I usually don't do. I discussed the exam with my co-worker. And one of the things that he said to me, he said, I know for sure you'll lick up the particular topic or team that you studied for. I said, what? He said, yeah, I sure you lick that up. I said, but I didn't see that. But he told me that was actually on the last page, on the back of the page. And I was like, my jaw dropped. I said, you serious? That question came? To me, I felt like I left out a whole question in that exam. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no. And we could actually scrape up to try to pass the exam. And in the midst of it, I honestly, as big man, I tell you honestly, I started crying. I was disappointed in myself. I was vexed with myself, But in the midst of all of that, it's like I heard God was asking me, who do you trust? I was like, yeah, God, I trust you, but oh God, I mess up this exam, boy. I really feel disappointed. I said, no, is what? I'll try to make up for that exam. I'll do a part 2 of the exam day. When I'm doing the part 2, right, when I'm doing the part 2, because I said before the exam is part 1 and part 2. When I'm doing the part 2, I try my best to make up, at least I must pass that one. I did all that I did. I got all my strategies in order, put things in place. I knew exactly all my study plans and all that stuff. But in the midst of all that I did, remember the psalmist David talks about in Psalms 44 verses 3, that it's not our sword that causes us to possess the land. In other words, it's not your strategies or your talents or what you know, but it's putting your trust in God. I did that second exam, and I say, you know what? I know for sure I passed that second exam. So I can't even make up my mind to do over the part 1 of the exam. But in the midst of it, there was a peace. And then at the same time, there was a struggle between the peace of God and doubting myself. And when the results came up, would you believe that part 1 of the exam, that I felt as if I left out a whole question, and I felt like I had to scrape up to try and pass it. You understand me? That part 1 of the exam is the exam that I got the most marks for. So in example, I got probably like 80-something% in that part 1 of the exam. And the part 2 of the exam, I probably get something like 60-something%. I got the most marks for that exam, which I believe that I failed, which I believe that, hey, I mess up the exam, you understand me? But God. So I'm here to encourage you all this at this present time that if you're making your boast, don't make your boast as Jeremiah said. Don't make your boast, you wise man. Don't make your boast, or make your glory in your wisdom, but do it in the Lord. Right? Let not the wise man boast or glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might, but glory in the fact that you know God and you know him enough to trust him, that he will not cause you to fail in spite of what. And especially around this time when school is about to open and people have exams to do, put your trust in God.